Okay, back again. So I'm going to continue soldering now. I took a little break from it because a teacher just walked in, but that's okay. I'm going to flux again, just in case any of my flux kind of dried off while I was having a little chit-chat. Okay, and then I'm going to run a bead going down this way. Now, in between first video and the second video, I took some time to actually clean off my soldering iron, so I have this wet sponge, and you can kind of clean off your soldering iron. You should do that every couple little strokes here because the soldering iron really burns at high temperature. The solder sticks to the iron and it starts to, again, it starts to burn and it starts to look kind of dirty. You want your solder to look really shiny, so make sure you clean off very often. Okay, so I'm going to run a bead going over here, just kind of like following that little line. I'll start to tack more of these in place, just dropping some beads. Okay, and then I can go in and run the beads. So the flux, again, it pulls the solder off the iron. Now, you might have a situation like this, where your solder accidentally gets stuck to your entire piece, and that's okay. Whatever you do, do not pull up, because if you pull up, you're going to pull up all your little pieces, and you might kind of mix up your little puzzle pieces and move them, and then they won't be sticking together, and it'll just like move all your pieces. So you just come in with your iron and melt it away again, and that's fine. Okay, now my iron, as you can see, is getting dirty, so that means I need to go in and clean again. Okay, I'm gonna flux again because I don't think I fluxed the oops daisy. I don't think I flexed that little area right there, so that's okay. I'm going to drop a bead just to tack it in place right there. It's in place now, and then I can just kind of go in and throw on some more beads. Oh no, that little piece moved. Oh no, I'll talk to you about that later. Okay. So all these little seams between your pieces should be sealed up. So I have another seam right here, and I want to seal that up, okay? So now my piece is all moved together. Now, you can kind of go back over this. I'm going to clean this off. You can kind of go back over this and smooth some of this out if you want. It's like your little magic wand. But don't play with it too much. You want to play with it as little as possible because the more you keep reheating that solder, the dirtier it's going to look. So just tack everything in place, run your beads, and then maybe smooth everything out just once. Some people like to sit here for days, woo, like melted metal, yay, so fun, and I totally get it. But then your solder ends up looking like really brown and just disgusting, so try not to do that. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to tin the edges. So we've got this beautiful silver color over here. By the way, I'm not going to touch this because it's still probably hot. But now we've got the copper color here on the edges. So this is easy enough to do. So we're going to tin the edges so it looks silver like everything else. So this requires a little flux too. All I'm going to do is I'm going to touch a little bit of solder to my iron, just like that. And it turns the edges silver. Okay. Don't leave your iron on your glass because you might crack your glass from heating it too high. And you can flip it over. I should tin all the edges, but I just want to show you this first. Just kind of touch it, make sure it's hot, like cool enough for you to handle. So I could now flip this over and basically do the exact same thing to the other side, okay? Oh, look, I had a little gap in between my pieces. That's why so much solder ran through, but that's okay. Now, there's kind of like a drip right here that happened, and I can get rid of that easily. So I would just stand this up. Ooh, it's still a little warm. And melt that off. Now, that is awesome. That is awesome. I love it. This is what we call a bead of solder. It's like a little drop of solder. And that is very interesting to look at. And I would love to pick that up and play with it and like make it into a necklace for my niece. But I don't know if that's hot or not. Because remember, we can't tell whether it's hot or not because it just looks the same whether it's hot or cold. So, oop, and it's stuck to that. So I wasn't going to use my finger to kind of move it away. Now it's stuck back onto my solder. That's fine. I'll go with it. I don't mind. So yeah, so now I can flux again this side. And now that all these pieces are tacked together, let's see how fast I can do this. I'm going to clean off my iron. You hear that sizzle? I'm cleaning off my iron. It looks shiny like that. That's good stuff. That means your iron's nice and clean. And I can just, whoops, there you go. Okay, I can run the bead here. Whoops. Ooh, splattered a little. That's okay. And close up all these seams as best I can. So much fun. Oh, I love this. I actually did something bad right now. I'm starting to let my hands get a little close to the end of the solder, so it's okay. I just need to unravel this. So my hand is nowhere near the iron. And then I can go back and tin all the edges. So I flux, I take my iron, oh, it's a little dirty. Clean it off, nice and shiny. Put a little solder right on there, just a little, and start tinning all those edges. So fun. I love this process. I love it, I love it. And that's basically it.